Hello everyone! Today we are going to be exploring a part of speech that is often sadly underappreciated. The pronoun. Now, before I get too much farther, I want to encourage you to leave me a comment. Seriously, comments are the best. Like, if you want, go ahead and pause and leave me a comment. Just, tell me how your day is going. That would be fantastic. And of course, I would love to hear your thoughts on this video as well. So, you may already be aware that pronouns are words that we use to refer to nouns instead of repeating the nouns. This sounds kind of counterintuitive. After all, aren't we then repeating the pronouns rather than the nouns? Yes! Yes, we are. But because the pronouns are so common, they don't seem repetitive when we use them frequently. The less common something is, the more it stands out. For example, in The Matrix, the woman who distracts Neo from his training is literally referred to as the woman in the red dress, because this contrasts with the rest of the crowd around them. These other people are different races, genders, ages, and heights, but all are dressed primarily in black. Some wear a white shirt under a black suit coat, but there is no other color anywhere. It's the same with nouns. The more specific and vivid they are, the more they stand out. We don't question the abundance of people in black suits with white shirts, but a crowd scene full of people wearing all red would need to have some reason that everyone is wearing red. If it's a company uniform, for example, or it would feel strange. Any noun that is referred to or replaced by a pronoun is called that pronoun's antecedent. If you're not familiar with that word, you may want to write down what it means because I may use it a couple of times in the video. So, to review, the antecedent is the noun that a pronoun is replacing. There are lots of different types of pronouns, but since I don't want to overwhelm you completely, I'm going to stick with what are called the personal pronouns. You're probably already familiar with them. I, me, you, he, him, she, her, it, we, us, they, and them. These pronouns can be classified in 4 different ways. First of all, some refer to one thing and others to more than one. So, I, me, you, he, him, she, her, and it are singular, while we, us, you, they, and them are plural. You may have noticed that you is in both categories. This is because in English, we no longer use thee and thou, which were the singular version of you. These words started dropping out of fashion around the 16th century, and by 1800 were rarely used. Second, English uses different pronouns for different classifications of address or person. I've already produced a video about the difference between first, second, and third person. It's linked in the description if you'd like to review. So I, me, we, and us are first person. You is second person. Again, both singular and plural. And he, him, she, her, it, they, and them are third person. Third, English also uses different pronouns based on gender. Like in other European languages, this is only used in third person. But unlike in other languages, this is only applied to people, not objects. So in French, le crayon would be referred to by the male pronoun il, while la plume would be referred to using the female pronoun elle. It has nothing to do with gender identity, it's simply a classification system. In English, animals are sort of an in-between category, with those known to be male or female are generally referred to as he or she, while animals of indeterminate gender are usually referred to with it. Also, unlike other languages, gendered forms are only used in singular third person in English. So in Spanish, a group of boys might be referred to as ellos, and a group of girls as ellas, but in English, either group would just be them. This is also why people who don't fit into the gender binary often choose to use they, them rather than he, him, or she, her. Others choose to use neopronouns like sie, them for singular. What's challenging about this is that you don't use those pronouns to refer to yourself. Third-person pronouns are what other people use to talk about you. So it can be really difficult for people who are more comfortable with something different. They have to tell others what their preferred pronouns are, and then they have to trust that other people will remember and respect that. When someone tells you their preferred pronouns, it shows their faith in you. And finally, English also classifies pronouns based on case. Personal pronouns are either subject pronouns or object pronouns. That's what I'm going to be focusing on for the rest of the video. Subject pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, and they are, somewhat unsurprisingly, used as subjects in sentences and clauses. I am a teacher. You are watching this video. It is hopefully engaging and informative. They say the best things in life are free. Object pronouns, me, you, him, her, it, us, and them, are ones that receive the action in a sentence or are used as objects of a preposition. Examples of receiving action. The teacher questioned them. That really embarrassed me. Don't hurt it. Edward would never forget her. Examples in prepositional phrases. Susan looked at him. That message wasn't meant for you. They'll never get past us. Please do notice that it and you function both as subject and object pronouns. Other forms change between those classifications. As I've said before, and will certainly say again, you have to pay attention to how it's used. Now, I find that students who are native speakers of English rarely make mistakes with these pronouns when used in isolation. I don't think I've ever heard, Susan looked at he, or that really embarrassed I, or them say the best things in life are free, or seen anything like any of those in a student paper. Ever. Where it gets tricky is when students start pairing nouns with pronouns, like whether it's Susan and I or Susan and me. Or sometimes when pairing pronouns, is it me and her or I and her? The first step is to leave just one of the pronouns in the clause. Look at this example. The hockey team depends on Susan and I. So, we take Susan out of the sentence. Sorry, Susan. And see what it looks like. The hockey team depends on I. Ew. What? No, that definitely isn't right. So, what if we use an object pronoun instead of a subject pronoun? The hockey team depends on me. That sounds better. So let's put Susan back in there. The hockey team depends on Susan and me. There. Much better. And now we can feel confident about it. Now with the subject pronoun, it's a little more complicated because you also have to worry about subject-verb agreement. Look at a similar example. Susan and me are on the hockey team. When we take Susan out again, I promise, it's nothing personal, Susan. We end up with, me are on the hockey team. Yikes! So let's change it. I are on the hockey team. That doesn't work either. Well, that's because the verb are matches with a plural subject. And since I took Susan out of the sentence, I'm left with a singular subject. Serves me right, I guess. So let's change the form of the verb to match the subject. I am on the hockey team. That sounds pretty good. But just to make sure, let's keep the verb form the same and change the pronoun. Me am on the hockey team. Nope. Definitely the other way. So the version that's correct in standard English is Susan and I are on the hockey team. Similarly, if I combined that subject, I would not use the object case. Us are on the hockey team. But instead, the subject case. We are on the hockey team. Much better. Whew. So I feel like that was kind of a lot, but at the same time, we've really only skimmed the surface of pronouns and what they can do and how they can be used. There's lots yet to explore, and I hope to share more of it with you soon. Bye for now. Oh, wait. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. Hi again. Surprise. You may be wondering, why did Mrs. Cole change clothes? Well, that's because that was filmed several days ago, and that outfit is now in the laundry. So the reason that I am adding this today is that there was something that after I shot the main video, I realized I wasn't certain about. And I checked with somebody else, and it turns out it's out of date. People have been moving away from using the phrase preferred pronouns. This term diminishes the validity of that facet of their identity. We don't refer to assigned pronouns or assumed pronouns, even though that's what we do when someone doesn't tell us what pronouns to use when referring to them. They're just pronouns. I thought about reshooting the video, but ultimately I decided that it would be, hopefully, more effective to include a correction. Making mistakes or being wrong is often uncomfortable, and admitting that you were wrong or you had incorrect information or you don't know how to do something, admitting it can be even more uncomfortable. But it's important to do it. Acknowledging our errors, especially when somebody else has the courage and the grace to point it out to us, is a mark of integrity. Teachers especially can feel pressure from the expectation that we are ones who know things, like we're some kind of embodied Alexa, or, for those of you from my generation or before, an ambulatory Britannica. But as teachers, or just as human beings, we are so much more than that. We have the capacity not to just hold information, but to absorb new information and evaluate it in comparison to what we already know and to make new choices based on that evaluation. You can see my favorite Maya Angelou quote on the poster behind me. Well, maybe you can't see it. You'd have to zoom in a lot. But I'll just tell you, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. And I have it placed, and I'll show you, so that it directly faces my teaching podium, so that I see it when I'm teaching. It's important to me. There's nothing inherently wrong with being wrong. What matters is how you respond to it. As teachers, we have the opportunity to model effective, healthy responses to our own mistakes so that our students can see the process and become more comfortable and confident themselves. We are not mere repositories of information. We change. We choose. And that is nothing short of miraculous. Bye, folks.